that part of finance to continue to make myself money. But yeah, the whole building business credit and doing this whole thing has been a headache to try to, for one, to learn and then actually implement.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say, do you think you could get a big enough credit line? So let's say down the road, you got to the point where you can pretty much get a loan, like you're successful enough to where you can get the loan to get all the stuff up front and going right now, and then you know you'll be able to pay it back fairly fast, right? Do you
Hmm.
think? Oh shit! Do you think you'll go the route where you can try to get a big enough business credit card with a big enough credit with potential like cash back or some type of shit where, you know what I'm saying, where you can damn near start making money just from the credit itself? You see what I'm trying to
Um,
say?
yeah, yeah. So with credit cards, there's typically an aspect of that, like from the get-go. Like I already have a couple business credit cards already. They're not very high limits right now since I'm
Right,
just
right.
starting up, but um, I think the so what it's going to come down to is basically like the cash back thing is going to kind of happen regardless if you have a credit card,
Interesting.
whether
Okay.
it's with points or
Right. Some form
um,
of, yeah, yeah, yeah.
miles or yeah, depending on
Right,
whatever the credit card is.
right.
Um, but then when it comes to like the how big the loan is, that's going to come down to business credit and being able to show that like, yeah, I can pay off a car and whatever, and then it's getting to a point where I can get a big enough loan that can potentially get two, maybe even three cars
At
within
one,
one loan.
right,
Yeah, at one
right.
point to just help it scale that much quicker. Um, but yeah, and I'm finding that a lot of this beginning phases of setting up a small business is going to based off of your personal credit. So I've
Mm-hmm.
been working on trying to get that cleared up, and obviously with being unemployed, we're fucking racking up debt, and we have the wedding coming up, and it's just a lot's going on with trying to balance our finances right now. So it's
I bet.
kind of battling that. That's part of why I want to get my personal card going, just so I have some money coming in. I can
Yeah,
show the banks that like,
you
yeah, I got
have,
money coming in now
right,
or
money coming
whatever.
in.
Hmm. But that's the cool thing on the business. Most or some banks offer up to like $50,000 in loans. Um, with being in a higher risk industry, it's been tougher to get to that
Mm-hmm.
point. I've been having to kind of start building a relationship first, but it's possible depending on where you're at. And um, a lot of these loans are based off of stated income rather than like showing proof of it. Because like obviously if you're starting a new business, you don't have any taxes, you don't have any like lines like money coming in, and so
Right.
it's just what you project your income to look like, um, which has been helpful in some areas. But yeah,
Oh
it's
shit.
definitely. And then I'm also starting up like an affiliate marketing thing as well, and that's supposed to be really promising once I get that going. So it's definitely working towards like the area of like the time of like what I'm supposed to be doing right now,
Yeah.
rather than ooh shit. But
Oh shit.
because I've just been learning so much about finances, and I know that there's still so much more to learn, and I'll be able to like apply it to anything that I want to do with like building businesses in the future, which is really cool.
Right.
Dude, I'm getting smacked.
Oh shit. Yeah, dog. We gotta find time. I gotta get you on the pod so we can talk about your business ventures because that stuff's really interesting.
Yeah, man, that'd be sick.
You should definitely
Yeah,
share like
because
what
it's
you've been learning and the hardest part, the easiest part, stuff like that. Because
mm-hmm.
you know, that's a. I feel like the position you're in is where a lot of people want to get, where they start to take control of their own, pretty much their own. You know, you're the way, you know, once you get this set up, you'll basically have, you know, financial freedom especially
Yeah.
with the, I feel like once Turo bit, because I've talked to a dude when I first used it, because he had like his own little fleet,
Mhm.
and he was saying, once you getting it set up's a little tough, like you're saying, but once it's
Mhm.
set up, it's he had it set up to where it's fairly hands off, because
Yeah.
he had like he had the cars that have the fobs, but he's got
Mhm.
like the Bluetooth thing set up in the car, so whenever somebody wants to pick up the car, he can unlock it with his phone, shit like that. So shit's
Oh
lit.
yeah, that's what there's like a third-party app where you can like manage a lot more stuff all in one
Right.
spot, which I I heard that they might stop working with that app, so I'll be interested to see like what actually happens next, because that was like an app or software or whatever that was like a focal point of most Turo fleets like business, because
Right.
it automated everything. It made everything a lot more hands off. So I'll be interested to see if they start working with it again, or if they have another system that's going to work, because like that's going to throw a huge
Right.
wrench in most people's plans.
Right.
But it's really cool stuff, and I've been doing like a stupid amount of research on like different cars, and have a good idea of like what cars I'm gonna get once I get some funding. And I found a I found a BMW. It was like 2015 two-door, clean car title, and it was like one that would bring in high revenue off of Turo's projected numbers from previous year.
Mm-hmm.
It was going for less than 10 grand. I'm like, there's gotta be something wrong
Something
with this,
something
but
wrong
like,
with it.
dude, I'm like, there's
Damn
gotta be
near.
something wrong. But like, everything I was looking at of like what usually is wrong wasn't there. Everything was showing that it was clean. So I'm like, unless this Carfax is bullshit, or I honestly don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with the wiring that they haven't been able to
How
fix.
many
I don't
miles did
know.
it have?
Dude, it had like 40,000 miles, like 50,000 miles, like
For
for
under
2015. Yeah,
2015, 40,000
for
miles?
less than
Less than
10
10K?
grand. It was
Yeah,
unheard of.
something's up. Has it been in a wreck?
No, that's just it. It had a clean Carfax.
All
It
original
had,
parts?
yeah, it was completely clean. I think it might have had like two owners, but like, I think one of them was like, it was like it was leased out, but like even still,
Right.
having it leased isn't
Shit.
end all be all. So I'm like, shit, I might just,
Is it through a dealership, or is it through just a
yeah,
person?
it's through a
Huh.
dealership.
Did you talk to them and
Yeah,
ask like why is it so low?
that's what I'm about to. That's what it's. I'm trying to get some funding situated first before I
Right.
like start the conversation too early. But
Just so they know you're.
but like, if I don't get funding in time, it's low enough where I might just try and pull out an auto loan, like through my personal name,
Right.
as in
You
like,
just
or not on my personal name, because I'll probably have to do that regardless since I'm so early. What the fuck? Where the hell is he at? But like put myself as like a personal guarantor on it, and just get a car loan through whoever they work with,
right.
instead of trying to get funding set up first. Because that's another
Oh my
thing I've been
God,
finding,
that
is that
sucks.
with buying cars, they always suggest to get your funding situated first at like a credit union or something, and then go to the dealership where you want the car.
Right.
Because for one, you can avoid all the bullshit that they try to throw on there with the financing and whatnot, but also it adds an aspect where if you get there and you're like, yeah, run some numbers, see if you can find a better loan for me. If you already have funding set up and they run your numbers and see if they can find an even better loan, if they do, you can use that, but you still have your funding from your previous one, so you can basically get 2 cars or 3 cars out of one potential transaction. So it's
Right.
definitely can be very helpful with scaling your fleet. Damn. Yeah, I'm pumped. Obviously taking longer than I had hoped, but like, I'm needing to go through this to like really learn and put myself in a better position later on down the line.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still trying to get my car fixed up. I actually just had to my dad had to help me out, but I had to drop like 3,500 on my car
Damn.
because
That's not fun.
the spark my engine was misfiring, so the spark plugs were messed up. They weren't good.
Oh shit.
And then not only that, but I had to get my timing belt and drivetrain replaced because the timing belt's never been replaced, and the timing belt's only good for 100,000 miles, and I'm at 180,000. So I'm 80,000 miles overdue for a new timing belt. And it was one of those.
What's the timing belt?
So if you ever looked in the engine, if you ever seen that belt that like runs,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's the timing belt. Wrong with it, but it was time to replace it, so it was like a preventative replace. And they were saying like the damage on it, that it's the original timing belt from when the car was made in 2009, and it's 80,000 miles over needing replaced. So my dad, let's just go ahead and do that, because take care of your car, it'll make it last a lot longer. So